The Galactic Council chamber was older than most stars. It floated in deep space, cold and silent, built by races that believed they ruled the galaxy. Today, a new species stood inside it. Humanity, the human delegation, stood calmly at the center of the chamber. They were small compared to the towering alien representatives around them. Some aliens had scales, some had metal bodies, and some glowed with strange energy. Their eyes watched the humans with curiosity and quiet judgment. This was humanity's first official contact. The council speaker's voice echoed through the hall. "Humans of Earth," it said slowly, "you are young. Your technology is limited. Your reach is small. Why should the Galactic Council care about your species?" Soft sounds of agreement spread among the council members. Some looked bored. Others looked amused. The human ambassador did not argue. He did not raise his voice. He simply nodded. "We do not ask for fear," the human said. "We ask only to be understood." The council reacted with light laughter. Understanding was something given to the weak. A tall alien commander leaned forward. "Words are cheap," it said. "Do you have proof that humanity deserves a place among us?" The chamber fell quiet. The human ambassador paused. Then he spoke again. "Yes," he said calmly, "but it is not something we can explain with words." The council speaker tilted its head. "Then show us." The human pressed a small device on his wrist. The lights in the chamber dimmed. Outside the massive transparent window, the stars began to flicker, and then one by one they started to disappear. The Galactic Council fell completely silent. At first, the council believed it was a sensor error. The stars outside the great window dimmed, then vanished completely. One by one, distant lights in space went dark. The view that had shown endless galaxies now showed only shadow. A low hum spread through the chamber. Council technicians rushed to their stations. Screens flashed red and orange. Data scrolled too fast to read. "Confirm visual systems," one alien shouted. "They are working," another replied, fear creeping into its voice. Military commanders checked their scanners. Long-range sensors failed first, then medium range. Then even close-range detection went blind. Something massive was out there. The council speaker tried to stay calm. "Human ambassador," it said, "explain what we are seeing." The human stood still, hands behind his back. "We are not showing you a weapon," he said quietly. "We are showing you presence." A sudden alert echoed through the hall. Unknown object exiting hyperspace. The council turned toward the window. Space itself seemed to bend. A shadow formed where the stars had been. It was not darkness. It was something solid, something vast. The shadow grew larger and larger. Several council members stepped back. Fleet commanders whispered in disbelief. "There is no known ship of this size. This mass reading is impossible." The object continued to emerge, slowly and without effort, as if the universe itself was making room for it. Cold blue light flared along its edges. Engines ignited without sound, glowing like distant suns. The human ambassador finally looked up. "This," he said calmly, "is a Titan-class warship." The name alone froze the room. The Galactic Council had classifications for warships. None of them went that high, and the ship was still arriving. The Titan-class warship finished its arrival. Space around it slowly returned to normal, but the damage was already done. The stars looked small now, weak. The massive ship hung in orbit like a silent god, its dark metal surface stretching farther than the eye could follow. The warship was larger than entire alien cities. Layered armor covered its hull, marked with deep lines and strange symbols. Long structures extended from its body, glowing with steady blue light. The engines burned softly, yet their power shook every sensor in the council chamber. Alien officers stared at their screens in horror. "We cannot lock onto it," one commander said. "Our weapons cannot track it," said another. A third voice trembled. "Our strongest cannons cannot pierce that armor." Defensive systems across the council world activated automatically. Energy shields rose. Orbital weapons turned toward the Titan. Then nothing happened. The Titan did not react. It did not power weapons. It did not raise shields. It did not threaten. It simply stayed there. That silence was worse than an attack. Several council members felt fear deep in their minds. If this ship wanted to destroy them, the battle would already be over. The council speaker struggled to keep control. Human ambassador, it said carefully, why bring such power to a peaceful meeting? The human looked up at the giant warship outside the window. This ship, he replied calmly, is not here to fight. Confusion spread through the chamber. Then why is it here? The speaker asked. The human turned back to the council. Because, he said, this is how far we're willing to come to talk. The council fell silent again. Outside, the Titan-class warship waited, patient, unmoving, and very, very awake. The silence inside the chamber did not last. Voices rose from every corner of the Galactic Council. Some were sharp with anger. Others shook with fear. Ancient leaders who had commanded fleets for centuries now argued like frightened children. This is an act of intimidation, one council member shouted. It is a threat, another replied. They bring a weapon to our home. Military commanders spoke next, their voices low and serious. Our scanners confirm it, one said. That ship could destroy this world in minutes. And it has not even raised its shields, another added. That was what terrified them most. The council speaker raised its limbs, demanding silence. Human ambassador, it said, struggling to stay calm. Do you understand the fear you have caused? The human nodded slowly. Yes, he said. That is why we came in person. The council stared at him. You claim peace, the speaker continued. Yet you arrived with a ship that could end us. The human took a breath. This ship is not a sword, he said. It is a wall. Confusion spread through the chamber. A wall against what? One council member demanded. The human's voice remained steady. Against those who would harm us. A heavy pause followed. Fleet leaders exchanged looks. Data screens showed the same message again and again. No weakness found. The speaker leaned forward. How many ships like this does humanity possess? It asked quietly. The human hesitated. Then he answered. Enough. Fear moved through the council, like a cold wave. For the first time, they understood the truth. Humanity had not rushed into the galaxy. They had been preparing. And this Titan-class warship was only the beginning. Outside the window, the massive ship adjusted its position. Not closer, not farther, just enough to remind them it was there, waiting. The fear in the council chamber slowly changed. It did not fade. It evolved. The Galactic Council no longer argued. They listened. The council speaker spoke carefully now. You say this ship is a wall, it said. Walls exist because of enemies. The human ambassador met its gaze. Yes, he replied, and because of history. He began to explain. Humanity was not new to war. They had faced extinction many times on their own world. Storms, disease, fire, and each other. Every time they survived, every time they learned. We do not seek conquest, the human said. We never did. Several council members reacted with doubt. Then why build such ships? One demanded. The human answered without anger. Because peace is fragile. He spoke of humanity's space, their colonies, and the lives they protected. The Titan-class ships did not patrol foreign worlds. They guarded borders. They stood silent, watching. We do not strike first, he continued, but we never forget a threat. The words settled heavily in the chamber. Military leaders checked their data again. The Titan's weapon systems were active, yet restrained. Its targeting arrays were precise beyond anything they had seen. It was a protector and a warning. The council speaker asked one final question. If humanity is threatened, what will you do? The human answered calmly. We will respond. No anger, no pride, only certainty. Outside, the Titan-class warship shifted its engine slightly. Not as a threat, not as a promise. As a fact, the council understood now. Humanity did not need permission to exist. They had come to offer a choice. Respect or silence. The Galactic Council chamber was quiet. Not the quiet of fear anymore. It was the quiet of understanding. The massive Titan-class warship still hovered outside the window. It did not move closer. It did not leave. It simply existed steady and calm, like a mountain in space. The council speaker slowly stood. For the first time, it said, "This council admits uncertainty." Many heads turned. Some council members looked shocked. Others looked relieved. "You came to us without threats," the speaker continued. "Yet you showed us power beyond anything we imagined." The human ambassador remained silent. The speaker raised its voice. The Galactic Council votes. One by one, lights appeared across the chamber. Every single one glowed green. "Humanity," the speaker announced, "is granted full recognition, protected status, and sovereign respect." A ripple of reaction moved through the chamber. Military leaders lowered their weapons. Diplomats bowed their heads. Ancient beings who had ruled for centuries finally understood their place. The human ambassador nodded once. "Thank you," he said simply. Outside, the Titan-class warship began to move. Its engines glowed brighter, not in threat, but in farewell. Space bent gently as the massive ship prepared to leave. Before it vanished, the council realized something important. The ship had never aimed at them. It had never needed to. As the stars returned to the window, the chamber felt smaller than before. A council historian quietly recorded the moment. "This," the record stated, "was the day humanity did not shout, did not fight, and did not conquer." A pause followed. This was the day the galaxy learned to listen. And far beyond the council's reach, humanity continued its watch. Silent, prepared, unstoppable.